Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day today and welcome to the channel. So over the last month, we've gone over quite a few different mechanics tool sets, all in the $100 to $200 price range. And after reading a ton of the comments, it really got me thinking, could we put together a set that might be better for most of us, that would include the tools that we need and not include the tools that we just aren't going to use. So today I'm going to be going over a set that I put together for 200 bucks. And we'll see if you can buy better quality tools and a better set than just going and buying one of the pre-built mechanic sets from the store. Also, the giveaway is over for the 216-piece Craftsman Mechanics tool set. Still probably my favorite set that we reviewed just for the value. But the giveaway winner will be down below in the comments. Thanks for everyone that participated in it. It really means a lot to me. And thanks for all the support on this channel. But without further ado, let's see what's in this set. Now, first things first, this is obviously not a DeWalt set. It's another bag I had sitting around the house, and they all fit inside there. It's actually probably the smallest set, or takes up the least amount of size of any of the sets we've looked at. But that's the nice thing about having a custom set, is you can put it in whatever bag fits your needs, or separate it out if you have a smaller area to put it in. So what I went with is a couple of different Tekton socket sets. There's a bit set here from Tekton, and then this is not these aren't Tekton wrenches, they're actually Pittsburgh wrenches, but I had a Tekton roll, so I just put them in there to make it easier to take with me. Also, one thing to note is this is all going to be metric only. I had a ton of comments from people saying they never use SAE, and they wish they could find a set that they didn't have to pay for the SAE sockets. So that's why I put together a metric only set for about $100 more. You could have this all in SAE and metric together, including wrenches. So just something to think about if you need both. If you don't need both, then metric only is kind of the way to go. Almost forgot, in order to have a fair comparison, we've got to shake these up just like we did with all the others. Let's remove that cardboard. Nothing moved around. Nothing moved around. Look at the bits. So is there cardboard in here? Yeah. Nothing moved around. All right, so right here we have Tekton's 1/4-inch master socket set. You got your 90-tooth ratchets, which are some of the nicest ratchets that I've ever used. I've never used tool truck ratchets, but these ratchets aren't near the price of that. Very smooth. If you watch any torture test videos on the Tekton ratchets, they are some of the best as far as durability. And for having a budget brand wrench in a mechanics tool set that is this nice, you pretty much can't beat it. The gear wrench is probably the only other one we've tested that's even close to it. Then you have the 3 and the 6-inch extensions, your universal joint. You have this driver here, and the great thing about this set is this driver is a 1/4-inch end on it, so you can use it as a nut driver. You don't have to have all these separate nut drivers that all the mechanics tool sets like to put in for another 10 to 15 pieces, because you can just use all these as a nut driver if you want to. Plus you have this 1/4-inch bit adapter that goes on the end of it, so you can use 1/4-inch bits if you want to. Also, the end of this has a 1/4-inch drive, so if you need a little bit extra leverage, you can put the ratchet on there and use it as extra leverage or as an extra 6-inch extension. As far as the sockets go, you have 4 through 14 millimeter in shallow and 4 through 14 millimeter in deep, with no skips at all. It includes the 4.5 and the 5.5. So one thing I love about Tekton is there are no skips at all in any of their socket sets, and you may never use, a socket in here, but you at least have it if you, one day run across a fastener that is that 11 millimeter that you didn't have before, and now all of a sudden you run into the store to go grab one. You also do have a couple little storage compartments in here if you wanted to add a little bit, if you needed another extension or something, you can add in here if you need to. So now on to the 3/8 drive. Again, you have your ratchet here. And one thing that's going to be different on these ratchets versus pretty much all the other ones is the length of them. They're a lot longer than most of the sets had for ratchets. And so you're going to get way more leverage out of this set and this 3/8 ratchet than even the 1/2-inch ratchets on some of the other sets we looked at. You have your 3 and your 6-inch extension, your universal joint. Then you have 6 millimeter through 24 millimeter shallow with no skips, and then 6 millimeter through 24 millimeter shallow with no skip, or deep with no skips. These sockets are, as far as the chrome job on them, we haven't looked at a set so far that is better than this. I would say, again, Gear Wrench is the only one that's similar in quality. I do like the marking on there. It's decent. Sometimes it's a little tough to read, but it's at least engraved in there, so it's not just going to wear off over time. But very nice quality on all of these sockets. Very consistent polishing on the inside. It's not chromed on the inside, and really just, in my opinion, top quality for the price that these are. One other thing too is, besides the Pittsburgh 301-piece set, 24 millimeter is the highest, is the largest socket that any of the other sets went to as far as metric goes. So you're covering every single other set with this metric set here because it goes up just as big. And even though you don't have 1/2-inch drive, for $12 at Harbor Freight, you can get a 17-inch breaker bar to throw in this kit, which they didn't have in stock, or it would have been in this kit. And, then you really don't even, not having 1/2-inch drive doesn't really make a difference versus the other sets, because you have a longer ratchet and you have all the sizes they had anyways. All right, so now on the combination wrenches. These are not Tekton wrenches. I just had this bag from my flex head wrenches, and I don't use the bag because they're in my toolbox. So it worked out perfectly for this. This is the Pittsburgh 14-piece combination wrench set. And the reason I went with this is combination wrenches are pretty basic. For an affordable amount of money, you're not going to get features on the end of these, but no other set we looked at had any features at all. If you compare them to like my Tekton combination wrenches, they're a little bit shorter, but they're really not that far off. I mean, the chrome job is very nice on these. These are not the same as the Pittsburgh wrenches that are in the 225-piece set or the 301-piece set. These are made in Taiwan. And I've used Pittsburgh wrenches. I've had no issues with them. For a mechanics tool set on the go and affordable price, I think this set's $25 for metric. It's hard to go wrong. This goes 6 through 17 millimeter with no skip. Then you have a 19, a 21, a 22, and a 25. I wish there was a 24 in there. But really, I mean, it's tough to go wrong with this. I think a similar set to this was, I think, $75 on Tekton, which are those worth it? They're totally worth it. But to me, these work for this set, and Pittsburgh has a great warranty through Harbor Freight if you do have a Harbor Freight near you. There's countless people that have warrantied out tools that have had no issues at all with them. So I thought this was a pretty decent set to throw in here to go along with everything else. So this last set here is the Tekton Every Bit 135-piece set. Now this is what I would normally refer to as the filler. This set right here is $35. And the reason I picked this up is if I'm thinking about a mechanics tool set and I have one thing to take with me when I go on a trip, I don't want to run into some stupid fastener that, stops my project from continuing. So this has Torx T5 through T50. Then you've got on the Allen bits, you've got 1.5 through 8. And then 16th through 5/16. You have the square bits from 0 through 3. You've got flats from 5/30 seconds to 7/30 seconds. Phillips 0, 1, 2. You have 3, 4. You have a 1/4 inch adapter, so you could use this as a nut driver also if you wanted to. And this is ratcheting, which is kind of a nice feature. Not a huge deal. You can also throw bits in the end of this if you just needed a couple to go with you to make it a little bit smaller. Then you've got your clutch bits, 1/8 through 7/30 seconds. You have your, I don't know exactly how you pronounce this, but POZI, 0 through 4. You have all of these security torques, and then security Allens. You have the torque, the 4-sided ones, the tri-wing 3-sided ones, spanners, and then you have this precision set, which is going to be, quite a bit smaller. And then a little driver for that too. So I've actually never seen this set before. I'm assuming this is maybe a set discontinued by Tekton. It was only on Amazon, and so I picked it up for $35 to have all of these on hand. Will I use half of them? Probably not, but you never know. And so it was nice to be able to add, and I'm able to choose to add this versus, one of these other major companies choosing to add it for me. Plus, with Tekton's warranty, all of these bits are things that if I break them from Craftsman, DeWalt, Gear Wrench, I'm never going to warranty them out because I'm not going to deal with calling them on the phone and waiting months potentially to get one. With Tekton, it's so easy by sending a picture that it really doesn't even matter. So you may be thinking, wait a second, you're throwing 135 pieces of filler in here, and you've been, making comments about all these companies throwing filler in to up the piece count. First of all, this isn't about a piece count here. This is about tools that are useful to have and not skipping tools in order to just throw in a bunch of filler. An example of that is we looked at in the very first video the Craftsman 239 piece set and the Craftsman 216 piece set. The 216 piece set I think has about 35 pieces of what I would consider filler. The 239 piece set had around 80. So really you got more with getting less, and it's just kind of a marketing deal to up the piece count by throwing in a bunch of stuff. This is, over a 200 piece count here if you throw in 135 pieces of bits. But for $35 to have all of those on hand with a Tekton warranty, to me that beats out any of the filler kits that we've seen so far. Now, do you get less in this kit as far as total pieces than some of the others we've looked at? Sure, but none of them are going to compete with the warranty that Tekton has. And I've used Tekton's warranty firsthand. I mean, it's unbelievable how fast they respond to you and get you a new tool without even questions asked. They don't ask you to send back the old tool. It's just a picture, no proof of ID or anything like that to get it. So I don't get paid by Tekton. I bought these kits myself. I make absolutely nothing from anyone going to Tekton. I just am blown away by how great of a tool company they've become. Sucks that it's gotten a little more expensive, but still, for what you get, I don't think there's better tools out there. Maybe in certain things, my impacts for 3/8 drive, I have Sunex. But for chrome sockets, I really haven't found something better yet for the price. So now I'll go through a price breakdown really quick of what all of this costs. So right here we have the Tekton 1/4 inch master metric set, and that's $47. The Tekton 3/8 master set for metric is $89. The Pittsburgh 14-piece combination wrench set was $25. The Tekton Every Bit 135-piece bit set was $35. And then I actually forgot, because Tekton gives you 10% towards future purchases with whatever you spend on their site, right now it's actually 15% more. I was able to get spark plug sockets for free. So right here I have their full set of spark plug sockets. It's 5/8, 3/4, and 13/16 to add to this. So didn't cost me anything, and I got all those spark plug sockets back. And one other thing about making your own custom set is maybe you don't want that bit set. Maybe you want a little bit nicer wrenches. And right now you can get the, I wanted to say it's a 72 tooth ratcheting gear wrenches for $50. So you take away that bit set, you take away these wrenches here, and you just go and buy that ratcheting set. So the nice thing about going a custom route is you can make the tool set that fits exactly what you want instead of buying sets and then, well, crap, you know, I need a little bit more of this, and then you buy another set and now you have duplicates of a bunch of stuff, and you end up spending a lot more in the long run just buying a bunch of different sets than just going with this. Going with metric only if you don't need SAE. I personally do use SAE because my Datsun, go figure, is all SAE. But the majority of everything now is metric, unless you have someone that went to Lowe's to throw a random fastener and it's SAE. But really, almost everything's metric, and so you do pay for a lot of SAE tools if you don't need them in the other sets. So hopefully you found this video interesting, and maybe you don't want to go this route, but it opens your eyes a little bit to being able to go a route that's more custom towards you, because we all have different needs. And this, in my opinion, is a great set, even a starter garage set for this. You've got 3/8 and 1/4 inch master sets, no skips at all. So if you want to do this for a garage set, it's a great choice. And then you can add a 1/2 inch set. Like I just got a 1/2 inch metric master set for impact that goes from, I believe, 10 millimeter through 36. And that covers everything that my truck needs. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and at the very least, maybe this isn't the set for you, but at the very least, it shows that you can build a set that is better than you can buy, in my opinion. And again, congratulations to the winner of the 216 piece Craftsman set. Still one of my favorites. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys again soon.